Mattel Electronics presents Bomb Squad.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another edition of Tales from the Game Room. I'm your host, Ashley Amber Bottoms. This is my game room, as many of you already know. This is episode 7, so we're already 7 episodes in. I'm very excited. I want to thank all the guys at AtariAge.com for continuously watching my videos and recommending them, and for the encouragement and the kind words. It means a lot to me. It does go a long way. You're encouraging me to make more videos, and I thought where this is the 7th episode that I would actually attack head on. I would get into an actual Mattel game, since I've been talking about in television games. I'm going to go with the voice game, and the game uploaded right now is Bomb Squad. Now, Bomb Squad was, for all intents and purposes, one of my favorite games of the voice games. And I will tell you, if you are more than 30 years old, you may understand this, but voice games weren't something you normally saw. I mean, today you go out and every game has talking and voices and conversations, and now you can even put on a headset and talk to one another. You didn't have that back in the 80s. In the infancy of video games, you had bleeps and bips and just squares and pixels. It was very crude at best. And the true pioneers of these video game designers made it work. Mattel stepped up. The games were special cartridges. The voice activation wasn't in the cartridge themselves. It was actually in the IntelliVoice. The IntelliVoice was an add-on for the Intellivision that produced the voice. You would simply plug in the cartridge and turn the game system on, and the voice would filter the voice into the game. You could also play non-voice games through the IntelliVoice, but they would not have voice because they didn't contain the chips and whatnot inside the cartridge to activate the voice machine. So, with that said, they got very creative, and we got a very small amount of cartridges for the IntelliVoice, as it wasn't very popular, but we got a variety of games, and one of them was Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad is actually a really cool game where you are in charge of defusing a bomb that is going to blow up the city. You have voices that are going to tell you what to do, voices that discourage you, voices that make you nervous, and you know, it's just the way it's set up that you need the voice to play this game. So it's a very integral part of the gameplay. I like that. When I was a kid, it was the latest in technology. I was blown away by it, as I'm sure many of you in the 80s generation probably felt the same way. That's why I said if you're old enough to remember the infancy of gaming, you would understand why it's very intriguing. Anyway, Mattel did a great job. I was very impressed with it, and I actually did very well. I used to be able to beat the very hardest setting, but I haven't played this game in some time, so I'm not sure how I can do. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to play Bomb Squad and at least defuse one of the bombs. So let's take a stroll down memory lane and give Bomb Squad a try. All right, welcome to Bomb Squad. We're going to try to defuse a bomb. For this, all intents and purposes of this video, I'm going to use the easy level, so that way I can explain the video and the gameplay better.
They'll never do it in time. The code, figure out the code.
First thing you notice, 30-minute time clock. Very important. That cannot run to 0 or it's game over. This is your grid. There is a number hidden in there somewhere. You cannot guess a number until you at least repair 2 parts of this grid. And by doing that, you have to go into a grid. So you pick one. We'll pick the first one. Now when it tells you to cut something out, that means you're just replacing the part with wire. Very easy. You pick up the piece, you replace it with a piece of wire. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's how easy it is.
Okay.
When it's to replace it, then it's a different story, and we'll get into that when I get to one.
Cut this out, check this first.
Also, it's very important to cut them out in the order they tell you. If you don't, if you cut something out of order, if you cut a wrong piece and you don't fix it, you can, on the easy level, what it'll do is it'll black out the board so that it won't be able to aid you in guessing the number. On a harder level, you can actually detonate the bomb and destroy the city. So that's very important that you listen to the voice, that how it tells you what to do, and follow its instructions very carefully. Also, the way you get these tools is all done on the keypad. On the later levels, sometimes fires will break out. That's why you also have an extinguisher that you can use. But in the early levels, you don't get fires. So that is not going to come into play. But you have a pair of pliers, you have wire cutters, and you have a soldering iron. All that needs to be used in every level. Also, as you just heard, the countdown is given to you verbally every 2 minutes of the game. So it's there to taunt you as well. Also to aid you. Depends how you look at it. Now we exit out. This one's lit. I think we need one more grid. So we're going to go to the one on the far right.
Replace this first, this second.
Now this is replacing. This is easy. On the keypad, you have all the instruments. The left button and right button on the top of the controller speeds up your instrument so you can move it faster. The bottom left works the tool like this. The right bottom drops the object. Now we're replacing, so we're going by color or shape. I'm going by shape and hoping that I'm right. It's a guess.
Okay.
It's shape.
Replace this first.
So now we know that every one of them has to have a shape. It's not color. So now with there's two identical shapes, it's another guessing game. It could be either one of them. Because we know we've established that we're replacing shape.
Wrong part.
When you get the wrong part, as you can see, the clock runs faster. You want to sever that wire as quickly as possible and replace that part with the right part. On the later, harder difficulty levels, that can also detonate the bomb. But we're playing the easier level so I can explain this game to you.
You did it.
We'll exit out. These two are lit. So now,
The code.
it's going to ask you the code. You can actually guess after the second one, but we're going to need more. Now we're going to look. These two indicate it's part of the number because they're green. We press the numbers.
You sure?
It's not 1 because this one's not lit. It's not 2 because neither one of these are lit. It's not 3 because that one's not lit. It could be 4. It could be 5. It can't be 6. Could be 7. Can't be 8. Can't be 9. Can't be 0. So you look at the characteristics of 4, 5, and 7. 4, 5, 7. So what we'll do is we'll go to this one here, because if we don't get one there, it's automatically a 4. If it is lit, it'll be 5 or 7. And that's the strategic part of this game, is that you learn how to use the strategy to find out what the numbers are. And that's how you defuse the bomb. Easy. Wire ones are always easy because there's no guesswork involved. In the later levels, you'll actually come to appreciate that because that's a time saver.
Okay. Good going.
We exit, it's lit. So, we know it's not 4. So,
The code.
we know it's either 5
Are you sure?
or 7. So we have to differentiate, again, one of these squares to differentiate what number it is. So it's either 5 or 7. So we look at 5, we look at 7. 5, 7. So what I'll do is go to this square here, because if it lights up, it's a 5. If it doesn't, then it's definitely a 7.
They'll never do it in time. Replace this second, this
If you make a mistake,
Okay.
which we didn't, it's color, don't panic, just cut the wire so that you do not let the clock run down.
Replace this first.
because sometimes a small error like that on a later level will cost you the game. We're on the easy level, so that's not going to do that. And we should have our answer after this.
22 minutes till last. Good.
Now we exit. It's lit. So I'm guessing 5.
Good going. You did it. You did it. You're a hero. They'll be looking for us.
All right, well, that's Bomb Squad. I love this game. I'm very partial to it. It's very unique. At the time, there was nothing like it out there. It was very intense action. When the later levels come up, the screen shakes. It gets very quick. Little mistakes can cost the game. It will give you a run for your money. Speaking of which, you should be able to pick it up at any eBay or dirt mall or flea market, Craigslist, anywhere where you can find retro games. This game was very common. It was one of the releases when IntelliVoice came out. So it's not uncommon to find it for a couple of bucks, like $5 complete. You do want to have the overlays. The overlays are very important. All your tools lined up out here, all 4 tools, the exit, the sequence, you really don't want to get these buttons mixed up. Like I said, little things wrong in the later levels can cost you the game. So overlays are intricate to the success of playing this game. So you need the overlays. If you don't have the overlays, be forewarned. So it's good to have. It's a very unique title. It's very fun. I love playing it. This is the first game I got. Kept me up for hours. And I have very fond memories of it. I have beaten the late levels, but they're very difficult to do. And I just want to let you know that if you're looking for a good, solid purchase, something that is unique to the games of the era, Bomb Squad is definitely something you want to try. So I'm giving it a good rating. As always, I invite you to listen to me on my podcast live, or you can listen to the rebroadcasts on Monday evenings, and I would love to have you tune in. So please do so. Would love to have you call on the show. And don't forget to send those requests. We need those game requests. You guys have been doing a hell of a job with that. I'm going to get to all those games you guys are talking about. It's going to take some time. So many games, so many systems, so little time. Bear with me. But I want to thank you all once again for coming into my game room and listening to my tales. And hopefully I'll see you soon with episode 8. Until next time, happy gaming. See you on the Game Grid programs. Bye.
Oh no.